Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
To defend only can turn you away from one look will bring you from sin. Just one look will bring you
Of course, tonight we're going to pray from Psalms 35. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and bucklers, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unaware, and let his net that he had hid caught himself. Into his very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which delivereth the poor from them that is too strong for him. Yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They reward me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing were sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one that mourneth for his mother. But in mine adversary they rejoice, and gather themselves together. Yea, the object gather themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me, and cease not. With hypocritical mockers in feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long? wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destruction, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. This thou hast seen, O Lord, keep not silence. O God, O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. Judge me, O Lord, my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their heart, Ah, so would we have it. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, Let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servants. And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. To my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening and welcome to the People's Point of View. 10 years ago, he said, ministerially, there are some lines that you do not cross. 10 years on, he said, I have confidence in a crook.
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food, pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew I live great. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through, and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still old, asleep under the air. Their GLP friends them build high rise, road still full of holes. House pocket to a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in your politics we ever see. Boldness, time to go, time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Boldness, time to go, time to go. From Kingston to Legal, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Boldness and time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant, food price reach the sky. You're bringing deportee while your own people cry. We born ya, we grow ya, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later, we still can't understand. Corruption report land and nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. Who's crack up parish council, bro? country. Suffocate gun and it just smoke. And when we raise the voice, you call we political. But the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. The people.
Yes and no.
We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know hear us. We are knock on the door.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. All this our time to go. We know want no hype, we know want no speech. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLP cabinet full, but the people COVID empty. Oh, you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fists, not with fire, but with voice. Them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate. Jamaica speaking, and I'm not too late.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. The people.
Yes and no.
We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know hear us. We are not by the door.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh, yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. We can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road. The people don't forget. The people don't forgive. Enough is enough. Jamaicans will live.
The stand Jamaicans took today in Crossroad was a promising start. The question is, will we allow such momentum to die, or is it that we will make this into a national or regional protest? The eating will be in the pudding. It was promising, one must admit. Could it have been better? Absolutely. It could have been better. But it was a promising start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Laverne, good evening and welcome. Debbie Jervis TV, good evening. Good evening. Gloria Morris, good evening and welcome. Andrew Joan Hamilton Wilson. Jeanette Brissett, good evening and welcome one and all. Barbara Simpson, Michael Nepper, Elga Fletcher, Monica Taylor, Lynette Jenkins, good evening, good evening. Opal Watson, the early bird, good evening and welcome. Wayne Evans, Leonie Denton, good evening and welcome. Who else is here? Jamrock 8766, Evelyn Miller, good evening. Sheena Kelly, Suzette Williams, good evening. Vitality and Motion, good evening and welcome. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Ladybug, Errol Reed, Canadian Gull, good evening. Who else is here? Good evening, everyone. Wonderfully made, good evening and welcome. Good evening, Jackie Walford, good evening, Ralston Henry. Good evening, RJ Robinson, good evening. Fiona Burnett, good evening and welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Tonight we will be analyzing today's protest. We will look into bips and babs of the clips that we come across today, both from vloggers, mainstream media, and all the rest of it. But amongst the things that people protested against today was the corruption in government. Sanjay Benjamin, good evening. Amongst the things that people protested against today was the corruption in government, the lack of accountability, and all that's swirling around in the Andrew Holness government, as well as the Wheatley debacle and disgrace that keeps hanging as a dark cloud over this government. But isn't the Prime Minister a dark cloud himself? When the Prime Minister was in opposition 10 years ago, 10 years or 11 years ago, when the Prime Minister was in opposition, he had quite a different tone when it comes to corruption. We will remind the Prime Minister tonight of his views, though he would know it's his views, is it not? It was the same Andrew who refused to sit in Parliament. It's the same Andrew Holness's government who hung their head in shame, if you remember. It's the same Andrew Holness's regime when they were in opposition call it a dark day in Jamaica.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
He went even further. Ministerially, he said, there are lines that you don't cross.
You know, those questions, what will the opposition do? The opposition can't unappoint the minister. The real question is, what is the government going to do about this?
Mr. Powell seems to essentially get away because he has managed to successfully forge alliances with his political superiors. Do you agree with that?
Well, they have analyzed it correctly. As I said before, the Prime Minister is complicit in this. She has taken no action that would suggest that the minister could not make such future mistakes. He's still a member of her cabinet.
What's the opposition going to do about this further?
But the opposition is very strident against this. And, you know, those questions, what will the opposition do? The opposition can't unappoint the minister. The real question is, what is the government going to do about this? It is a discretion. I am adding pressure right now as I speak to you. We have written to the Prime Minister to make known our concerns. It is the Prime Minister who must act. And my job is to stimulate public opinion as well, so that the public is not misguided by opinion leaders who seem to be very comfortable with the low standard of governance that is being offered by this government.
What if the Prime Minister does nothing else, doesn't ask for his resignation?
Low standard of governance. Note that word carefully. Low standard of governance.
Or anything?
It reflects the kind of Prime Minister that we have, and the country must decide if we're comfortable with that.
Had you been Prime Minister, what would you?
My actions would be clear. My actions would be clear and decisive, and I make no bones about that. I believe in a very high standard of governance. He would not be a minister today.
His apology to the Contractor General, saying that if he had said anything that could be construed as a lack of respect for the Contractor General's office, he withdraws those statements and apologizes. What do you make of that?
You know, there are some lines that ministerially you don't cross. And apologies are not good enough to fix them when you have crossed them. He did that with the contractor general. It shows a mind that does not respect the limits of his authority. And that's dangerous in a minister. And for a prime minister to accept that is to place the public's interest in peril as well.
Cockmouth, they say, can really kill cock, isn't it? Can you believe this was a younger Andrew Holness, same size nose, but very, at that time, hunger for power. The only difference now and then was that he looked younger. He hasn't drunk the wine of sorrow yet from the powers that be. Same size nose, but very, very power hunger. Josette, how are you? Joyce, good evening. Can you believe that Andrew Holness, the Andrew Holness now, is saying to the people, I have confidence in the work of Wheatley. Having confidence in Wheatley's work and confidence in Wheatley, for me, is one of the same thing. Because Cliff Hughes did not ask you, do you have confidence in Wheatley's work? You chose, lovable Bravo. You chose to answer the question in that manner. I can interpret it, though, Prime Minister, that not only have you got confidence in Wheatley's work, because can you point to us what has Wheatley done in the cabinet since appointed in his non-portfolio? What is it that he has done in his special project or what? So for you to answer the question that you have confidence in his work, though we not know what that is, Prime Minister, it's the same as saying, I have confidence in Andrew Wheatley. Can you believe this is the Andrew of 10 years ago? I mean, he has not then, he didn't seem as if he was drinking mad piss for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, he seemed to be having it right through the entire day now. Because Andrew Holness does not remember his robust stance, his stance against corruption, his stance on integrity, his stance on human rights. He have totally forgotten all of that. All of it. Right now, the Prime Minister have a minister without portfolio to be charged, a state minister in the Ministry of Finance, and this is there, to be charged. And Andrew Holness is saying, I have confidence in Wheatley. Having confidence in Wheatley and confidence in Wheatley's work is the same thing. Denise Hilton, well, Floyd is my brother. For those of you who do not know, we are siblings, same mother and father's children. When I saw in 2024, Floyd Green and Edmund Bartlett went there, I said the same thing. They are going to go after him. He may think it's just a visit from the politician and being acknowledged by the politicians. But it wouldn't surprise me, the truth be told. It really wouldn't surprise me because they have seen the potential Parity weren't on the map until my brother create that place. And then Melissa even come and push it further upon the map. And here Edmund Bartlett said from Parity all the way down to Crawford will be touristic. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. But before we go to the demonstration, globalists, I have a favor to ask. I don't generally ask you for support, but tonight I need it. I have an issue which I cannot divulge the issue I have in public. If you don't want to call me to hear what the issue is, fine. But I cannot divulge the issue in public. But I'm looking for your financial support to help me to solve the problem. What I'm looking for tonight is your generous donation. I'm looking for 300 US and if you can assist me to solve this problem, it's a very, what word should I use? It's a very pressing problem, very important issue, and I'm seeking your help. This is our Zelle and PayPal on screen. If you can assist us in this problem to help solve this problem, please do donate generously. It would be very much appreciated. Me not always trouble when it comes to financial issue, but I really need your support. And I would be grateful if anyone can assist so that I could sort this issue out. It's a very pressing issue. It's just that I cannot divulge or disclose in public what the issue that I'm experiencing is. But if you can assist, please do. And as soon as if things go on, as soon as we reach a mark, we don't want more than what it is of great importance. Yes, that's a good phrase. It is of great importance. And we're not looking for anything above the 250 UK or 300 US. We're not looking for anything above that. So if you can assist, we would be very grateful for your assistance. The top of the issue today, and I think this is the straw that breaks the camel back that took so many Jamaicans to the street today. The deportees, the third country nationals, the dubious, surreptitious deal signed by our government that they lied to us about. This surreptitious deal that our government lied to us about, that even the United States, who is beneficiary of the deal, sought to have thrown them out in public to say, bad to bad, the Jamaica people ought to know of this, because I am making this arrangement with you in good faith. And I don't think it's fair. I'm hypothetically thinking in the US mindset. I don't think it is fair that we should get into this deal. The Jamaican people would likely to pick up a detriment from it or a risk from it and not know about it. Hence is why the story was leaked to the Gleaner by the US State Department. The government automatically sought to lie. Violet Watson, good evening. The government automatically sought to lie about the whole memorandum of understanding. They don't know about it. There isn't such anything. The only deportee we're taking is Jamaican deportee. And then, oopsie daisy, all of a sudden, oh, we've signed the MOU last Thursday. And then a plethora of lies, of lies, of lies. These are not misinformation, they are deliberate lies that come behind that. And I think that is the straw that broke the camel back that led so much Jamaicans to the street today. Because for the last 2.5, 3 years, Jamaicans have been demonstrating against Andrew Holness, and we have not seen that amount of people coming out to one of these demonstrations. Today, I can say, since I've been watching this, was well attended. It could have been better. We're a country of almost 3 million people, or probably more. It literally could have been better. The People's National Party, a lot of them turn out. It wasn't political, it was about Jamaica. It was about Jamaica. The media, the mainstream media as well, the Star, the Gleaner, the Observer, CVM, I don't remember seeing TVJ. I think it was well attended from that point of view as well. My issue, though, is this a one off? Is this a one off? Or we will pick up the momentum from this and take it further around the country? Will we take it nationally? Will we take it regionally? We cannot, it cannot be, it ought not to be, it should not be, it must not be a one-off incident. If it is, ask yourself the question, what message then would that send to the government to say, oh, it's not even going to be a 9-day talk, it's just going to be a 1-day talk? It's not even going to be a 9-day talk, it's going to be a 1-day thing. Let's not make it a one-off. Let's make it a national thing. I would like to see the next protest, not only in Kingston, but every parish capital across Jamaica. Every parish capital across Jamaica. That is what I would like to see. If we cannot manage that, take one to Western Jamaica in Montego Bay. Take one to Central Jamaica in Mandeville. But it cannot be, it cannot be that we would allow this momentum to die. I cannot see your Zelle number, Wayne. Let me. That's it. Sorry, I may have something overhead. And let me just repeat, I'm experiencing a little problem, and this is the purpose of asking for the donation tonight. It's of huge importance that I solve this problem as soon as possible. If you can donate, please give generously. We're asking for maximum 300 US or 250 UK. We're not looking for anything over that. If we reach our target, we'll definitely tell you. That's it. We have reached our target. So our Zelle and PayPal is on screen. You can donate to either. It should not be, it must not be a one-off. If it is a one-off, there wouldn't be any message sent to this government. I think we should make it a weekly or monthly or fortnightly, monthly too long right here now, based on what this government is going on with. Because the victims of Melissa, with all those money sitting around in its billions, are still suffering, are still living under tarpaulin in a hurricane season, which is unacceptable. So if it is that we just come out one time, this government will hear or see nothing. This government will hear nor see nothing. So we must make it national or regional. I would prefer if another demonstration is being organized in Kingston. Generally, you organize a demonstration of the seat of power, the capital, that's fine. But we can have demonstration across city capitals within Jamaica, and I would agree with Laverne, have a weekly demonstration. Let's do it on possibly a Saturday where more people may have the time to come out of them 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job. But certainly, if we let this momentum dies, our future dies with it. Because we have seen the behavior of Andrew Holness. We have seen the behavior of Andrew Holness when it comes to corruption, lack of accountability, integrity, and all that jazz. So we cannot hold on. Violet Watson, thank you very much. Michael Nepper, thank you. We've reached our target, people. If I'm understanding Debbie's message right, we would have reached our target from the 2 people who've donated. Is that correct, Debbie? Let me know. If the message Debbie sent me is correct. Violet Watson, thank you very much. Michael Nepper, thank you so much. Yes, we have reached our target from the 2 donors. Thank you all very much. So we can take down with pin now. Thank you all so much, Violet and Michael. Thank you so much. We have reached our target from 2 donors. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's get on with the protest. We have taken out a few clips from the protests. It was well attended. The vloggers were out in their numbers, but what I would like to say to the vloggers, please learn to hold on a camera good one and the outside broadcast. The reception was another thing. I knew that was beyond your control. Sometimes I wonder if it was Andrew Holness jamming the people, because let's face it, it's our capital. It's the capital of our country. We ought to have better reception in our capital. So sometimes I wondered if Andrew Holness, they sabotage the vlogger them reception or something, because it is our capital. I would have expected in our capital to have better reception. But I mean, it coming like I did parody some of the vloggers them there. I know that's beyond their control. I know that's beyond their control. They can't do anything about the reception unless they have Starlink or something like that. I'm thinking so, Maureen Bailey, that it was a sabotage. Thank you, Opal. Thank you, Sharon. We have reached our target, though, my peeps. Thank you all very much. I was thinking, was it sabotage as well? Because bad to bad, our capital reception ought to be better in our capital. Some of the vloggers were freezing up so much. I was thinking, I wonder if a parody them because a sub reception bad in a parody. But let's go to some of the clips that run out through the day. Who is this one? Bear with. But beyond that, all of the vloggers need to where to put camera, all of them. Not even just the vloggers, even what you might call it, even the mainstream media, Star, The Gleaner. I don't know if they're looking what they're viewing on their screen when they're pointing their camera. Sometimes their camera is too high up in the air, like at the sky, them a view or whatever. I wish they could take that into consideration, both vloggers and mainstream media, when they're doing outside broadcasts. Make sure on have the camera pan where the viewing public need to see. But I think this is a clip from both Jay Bryan and Marvin Edgar's side of things. But for Jay Bryan, his reception was quite terrible to the point where it cut out. Partner Draw was doing some good interviews, going through the crowd, doing some good interviews as well. There was audio issue, there was reception issue, and some of the time camera issue. Not so bad as the others, but I wish they could all take that into consideration in further live broadcasts. Shelly Coran was there as well. She was going around in the crowd doing some interviews as well. So it was well attended by, even if the mainstream media weren't there, I think the vloggers came prepared to cover. I can help. Hold on. I can help when my message will not go through on WhatsApp. What do you mean your message will not go through on WhatsApp? You dial the British number, the British way, +44. Denise. Let us look at this clip. This is from two different angles.
The minister has confidence the person that has and can correct it. The Prime Minister said he has confidence in the man's word. All right, you can call up what the court don't have what them say. And what you do is keep the man in the cabinet. And that is the problem.
Miss Osborne was on fire today. She did not come to play at all. She just did not come to play.
The man should not remain in the cabinet. So come back. The sabotage the sound, but our country. Come
Denise, to reach me on WhatsApp, you have to dial the number +44. You have to save the number in your phone. +44 75511 or +44 7956 907 089. If you save it like that, you certainly will get through on WhatsApp.
The mic. Them come with an idiot sound here.
1, 2. 1, 2. May we invite everybody who is on this side. Let us come show the numbers so we can stand in straight from by the front. My brothers and sisters, before God and all mankind, I live the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for what? Lord, and peace. To work innocently and creatively. To think generously and honestly. So that we shall make and create peace, the welfare of the whole human race. What you declared a while ago, it's not just some little words we chat. This comes from the heart. It is by these words and what they mean that we have lived for years. We will not tolerate anything that God itself neither that lies to the people that they lead. We will not tolerate people who deceive those whom they are supposed to lead. There is no way that we can have anything called good governance that is based on lies and deceit. Our goal today is simple, very simple. Number one, we say release and publicize the MOU. We want the MOU to be tabled in Parliament so that the people can see what you have been doing, supposedly on our behalf. We employ you from the Prime Minister to answer to us.
I've seen her.
As we said, very simple and very clear. We are demanding also. Yes. We're not asking. We're not making no request. That the government of Jamaica employed to us pay the money that they have for relief, for providing relief for Jamaicans who have been victims of a hurricane. We are saying, spend the money on the people. Spend the money on the people. People are on the tarpaulin. one is this. Yes, Andrew Weekly from the cabinet. It is simple. It is clear. We demand by the Prime Minister. But we have a problem. We have a problem. How can the Prime Minister demand the resignation of Weekly?
There was a lot of reception problem, my peeps. Lynette, no problem at all, no problem. There was a lot of reception problem. I think this was where J. Bryan froze. Let's move on.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if Andrew Holness send the pigs really them out there with a jammer, or they have jamming Joan a flyover people them, but a lot of the vloggers were facing reception issue.
This week, the fact that we took the time to bear the 34-degree sun. Yeah. And I'm talking about 34, feeling like 38. But there is something hotter than the 38. Don't mess with the Jamaican people. Don't mess with our children. Don't mess with our grandchildren. So if you think that this is hot as yet,
this man is a powerhouse speaker as well.
push us a little bit more. We're going to turn up the heat. We will not surrender. No retreat. No surrender. We will not have us separated along the lines of PNP versus church. We are one Jamaica. One Jamaica. One Jamaica. One Jamaica. United shall never be defeated. We are encouraging us to stand together.
That's the key phrase for us Jamaicans. A people united will never be defeated. We ought to stop allowing politicians, mainly those in government, to play on our disunity. It is the fuel for their corruption. It is the fuel for them doing nothing. It is the fuel for their failed promises, election cycle after election cycle. We must get out of the disunity and be Jamaicans and not PNP and Labour Right. Yes, we know so the Labour Right them the over the airwave I criticize everybody we attend to this say it was PNP. So what if we're PNP? I wish you know could come out as well and feel the make people say the pinch wanna feel. Because don't go on like say a PNP alone I feel the pinch in a Jamaica. Labour Right I feel the pinch more than PNP. Because my entire community, my constituency is JLP run at the moment, and we're not getting any help.
But if like criminals, we stand together around the cause that is unjust, we are going down. If like hoodlums, we stand together.
Can you imagine the message that would have been sent to government today if there was a similar pattern in every capital across every parish in Jamaica. Can you imagine the message this would have sent to the government if this was right across the country? People come out in every parish capital to vent their frustration and unease when it comes to this government's crookedness.
To rob and to rape and to deceive the people. We are going down. And so we say to us simply.
See that? See that? Give him a bigger mic, what you mean? Yeah!
One Jamaica.
One Jamaica.
One Jamaica.
One Jamaica.
Janet, they must cut the shame now. Shame can't yam. Shame can't take them from under tarpaulin. Shame can't calm the hunger and the distress, the lack of employment, the deterioration in healthcare and education, the riverbed them where we drive pan and walk pan say a road. Shame now go buttress that. So might as well then drop the shame and join everybody else will lose them shame.
One Jamaica! One Jamaica! Jamaica!
The waterfalls start come to my mind. Beaches start come to my mind. I'm starting angry again. I want to river and one fence road river. Them take a beach and tell me say we must go through some of the side gate to access the beach. And they will tell us
Mash down that.
and we speak for camera.
Mash down that.
We have some Jamaicans out here today.
Mash down that. We're here better with something. Yeah. Here better with that. Two of them, one and a one. Turn it up.
My chance. They went along.
Jamaica, you see when we come out in with so much, police have to see we and wish we well. The state have to turn up and watch we. The state can brutalize so much away. When so much away come out, the state can brutalize so much away. But when half a dozen or 2 dozen away come out, they can run way up and cattle with. But when we come out like this and more, we are more than them. We are more than them. And I would like to speak to these organizers to find out when are we going to do this again? Because it cannot, should not, and must not be a today thing. It would be like looking at the end of your nose and stop right there. That will not send a message to the government. And you could literally stick 2 fingers up at what happens today if we don't pick up the momentum and run with it.
Sir, come in.
Gentle friends, listen to me. This is not peace that will determine whether we win. What is here? And I am simply saying, no revolution must start with your foot. No revolution must start with no AK-47. No revolution begins in the brain. The mentality of the people is what matters. You said then living. Hold on. Then we're going to have a little rebellion to the but I am simply saying to us, and that is not even where it starts. You're being here.
I was in the this last week. Nobody knows say that. There's more now.
Before we get to revolution, we start with what? Rebellion. So we are resisting the anti-Holist led regime. We are. It's interesting.
The person who just said, I be a PMP there. Oh, no, nothing. I want if a labor right me today, sir. But if it's a whole political divide in the country, labor right there, PMP there, people who don't want the 10,000 criminals there. When you come out on the damn colors. Because I see your comment. Drunk, bro.
All right, Bobby. One Bobby.
And so, you want us people across related and surrounding. Yes, ma'am.
Enough is enough.
Monica Wills, how you doing?
A murder. By security forces. And we let me tell you a word that I learned this morning. Perseverance. I learned another one. Persistence. I don't care. If this goes down, get me right and take me place.
Yes.
Our voice will not be silenced.
All right, we're going to move to another clip of Joyce, a robot, Angel.
To take the life of over 130 of our young men and we have sacrificed. No, what I've done is not bring down the murder rate. We have swapped the murderers.
Yes.
We have no.
No, I don't put up. Yes, something I tell you. The Andrew I do. I did see the people that live by. The man them got see catching fish, and the man them got black river go tell you. The man them got see catching fish. Yes. The man them got black river go tell you. Everybody, so for you pick up on the people and stuff. Eh? So you stand for Jamaica this man. How many backside is? The man Jamaica inside for Andre. We love you, know? You love me. Everything where you are Marvin, you are able. Put up with you. We love you. You love me like because you tell the truth. You talk the truth. Yeah. How about you? So you stand up this man. I will love all about the fights. How about you? I'm going to Jamaican people. I'm just that one is enough.
Guys, why you come there with the contention?
Oh, it is that brand. It is that warning. It's not that warning. No, it's not that warning. All right. Yes, Jamaica. It's not Zealand. It's not Zealand. I saw that. And when you're ready for me to talk already, repeat.
The lady that we had trouble holding, you know, she is from Parity, but she live at Kingston for Saltfish a Shingle house stamp, but she's from Parity. Now, let's go to another clip because we have several of them. Now, this is Mayor Swaby. Who is interviewing Mayor Swaby? I think it's Shelley Coran.
So I'm not worried about what you have to say, Mr. Swaby. I'm here with Mr. Swaby at Crossroads. Mr. Swaby, I just want to ask you, why are you here today?
Well, I'm here in solidarity with the Jamaican.
The vlogger them come out to the prepare, you know, for the full coverage. Even though the reception did beat them, then come out prepared just in case the mainstream media and nobody not come there figure out the vlogger them come out prepared.
And people, I want to commend Kay Osborne and the churches and their group for standing up. And I'm here. I know I'm a politician, but this is not about politics. This is about Jamaica. There are issues that affect us. There can't be a secret really in regards to deportees, foreign nationals, when our own Cubans who have been with us for decades, who have helped our country, was sent away unceremoniously. That's what hurt me to the core. And that's why I'm here standing.
Thank you so much.
Now, let's move to who else in the political field. No, let me see who was this. Bear with. We're just going to bits and pieces of what went down today.
If I understand it correctly, Paddy, essentially came down to an interpretation of part.
Oh, this is about there's a new ruling. Just let me break here. Just let me break here and bring it. The Supreme Court has handed down their ruling on birthright citizenship. You know, that was one of what Donald Trump was going at as well, is to remove birthright.
This, if I understand it correctly, Paddy, essentially came down to an interpretation.
Has finally ruled on that, and Donald Trump has lost his bid to get rid of birthright citizenship. We're hoping, though the Supreme Court has become Donald Trump MAGA and very political, we are hoping that when the ruling comes down on the TCN, that they will rule in favor of the people rather than in favor of Donald Trump. Because the ruling that came down the other day, TPS, temporary protected status, is not to be confused with TCN, which is third country national. They are two different legal challenges, sometimes sounding very overlapping, but they're not to be confused with each other. So the ruling has come down on birthright citizenship, and Donald Trump has lost that.
This, if I understand it correctly, Paddy, essentially came down to an interpretation of part of one line.
It does. It's the jurisdiction thereof. That's in the 14th Amendment. It gets a little bit obscure there. I have to say, in all the Supreme Court cases I've covered, this is by far the thickest document deciding birthright. So let's take a step back. This was on Donald Trump's first day in office of his second term. He established an executive order. What he wanted to do was limit birthright citizenship. In essence, that would mean if you were here on a work visa and you had a baby, that baby was no longer American. If you were here as an undocumented immigrant and you gave birth, the mother gave birth, the father was not an American, then that baby was not American. That would have defied the 14th Amendment, which was established to make sure that the children of freed slaves would be considered Americans. So it was more than 100 years of precedent. The Supreme Court, when they heard this argument, seemed very skeptical. Let's not forget, Donald Trump was the first U.S. sitting president to come and listen to the oral arguments, leaving fairly quickly after he started hearing some dissent. He often claims that the U.S. is the only country that allows birthright citizenship, which means any child born on U.S. soil is in fact an American citizen. That is not the case. There are dozens countries that do allow birthright citizenship. Still, he tried to limit it. The Supreme Court, in a very strong decision, simply said, no, you can't. That's against the 14th Amendment.
So this, if I understand it correctly, Paddy.
So we're hoping, based on international law, and if America is following the conventions, the Supreme Court will give a ruling that goes against Donald Trump third country deportation rules, as it violates international law, as per the lower courts have ruled, the federal courts have ruled on that. The British court in the British context have also ruled on that, as well as a violation of international law. We'll now go to the leader of the opposition at today's demonstration.
I'm here in Crossroads just to lend support to the demonstration that has been promoted by the civil society groups that came on board together to protest some of the things going on in the country. You know, the way in which the government has approached this third country national deportee situation, the government's lack of transparency and, frankly, dishonesty in describing how this came about and what it is for. And, you know, we're aware that under US law, this whole arrangement is being questioned. That's an unsettled issue. And we think it's very premature and inappropriate for Jamaica to be embarking on an arrangement like this while the situation under the US law remains very uncertain. Not to mention the fact that there seems to be no discernible benefit to Jamaica from entering into this arrangement, and we only heard about it because it was leaked to the media. And then there's the whole question of Andrew Wheatley and his continued presence in the cabinet of the country. A week and a half later, after the Integrity Commission has reported to Parliament that he's being referred for prosecution, he's to be charged with serious offenses of corruption. In our system of governance, the standard procedure in such a situation is for that minister to step back, to either be forced to resign or to voluntarily resign from the cabinet until that matter is resolved, or those issues are finally resolved in the courts. And for the Prime Minister to say that he has continued confidence in Mr. Wheatley in these circumstances reflects extremely badly on him and his judgment, because he claims he was not aware when he appointed Mr. Wheatley for the second time to the cabinet that the Integrity Commission was investigating him. That, if true, indicates a basis for removing him immediately anyway, because that ought to have been made clear at the time, rather than take the Prime Minister by surprise, if indeed it really did. But we know that the Prime Minister has his own Integrity Commission issues which are unresolved. And no doubt he's afraid of whatever precedent it may set for Mr. Wheatley to be asked to step back from the cabinet, because the issues also affect Mr. Holness's own status there. But Jamaican people deserve better. We deserve a government that we can trust, a government that abides by established norms of good governance. And that is why I'm here supporting the civil society demonstration, because I see our interests as essentially being aligned around these issues. And of course, there's a whole question of Hurricane Melissa and the total lack of transparency in how donated funds by well-wishers, people who have, out of the kindness of their hearts, tried to assist victims of the hurricane, only to hear that the government has essentially captured those funds and is using it for their own purposes. And only 2% of the money, $1.4 billion, was received. I was part of the telethon seeking to raise those funds because I was asked by the Minister of Culture to be part of that. And in good faith, I lent my name and effort to it. And so I'm appalled that those funds have not been treated as trust funds for the benefit of the Melissa victims, who are the people who those donors wanted to benefit from those funds. And instead, those funds have been caught up in some kind of bureaucratic quagmire because of poor management, if not worse. So there's a lot for us to be here demonstrating about. And I encourage all well-thinking Jamaicans to join in these types of demonstrations and lend their support one way or another to what is being done here by civil society. Many groups have come out, the churches have come out, various other civil society groups, and even the private sector, as reluctant as they have been to take a stand against the corrupt regime of Andrew Holness, have nevertheless come out and said that this situation with Wheatley is untenable. So the Prime Minister needs to do the right thing and ensure that Wheatley steps down. Thank you very much.
Ladybug, to answer your question, no, the People's National Party, because this is an executive decision. It doesn't need the opposition support to do it or not to do it. What the issue is the moral that Andrew doesn't have, or what Andrew told Cliff Hughes, that he's not a revolutionary. So he's going to bend down and bow over. This is purely an executive decision. The People's National Party, what they can do is what they are doing is raising the concerns. I wish they themselves would have mobilized the people to take to the street on this matter, even though it is what broke the camel back to lead the churches and the civil society groups to mobilize the people and took to the street today. But this is purely an executive decision by a corrupt government who is rather on its knees going through this world than on its feet, to use the Michael Manley phrase. There was quite a fire today. Let's break from the protest and go to Falmouth, where there was quite some terrible fire, engulfed quite a few buildings, about 3 or 4 or more, on Duke Street in Falmouth today. Let's have a look into that.
What are you afraid to do? What are you afraid to do? Yeah. I'll take over. And if we can keep growing on the front, we'll get a view. That's it. Police, them are throwing me back. Walk around this. Police, them now want me run on the front page at all. No man, so this way I just pass. If you set an example that if you do.
So this was a fire in Falmouth, Trelawney.
You, right, sir. All right. Look at It's a wall when you did that for this. Yeah, man, you're Jack, man. Look for that piece of wall, the people. You soon see collapse. Yeah, yes, this somebody asked a while ago. I follow up this Falmouth Trelawney on Duke Street. Yeah, man. Yeah, look, he said go jump inside, I believe. Yeah, man, a piece of wall this summer.
So is it Janet Brissett? So Funa Mangrove like Suey Mangrove down a Parati. Funa Mangrove now have tilapia in it because we fishing in a Suey Mangrove as well, that stripper that piece of water where we live between the pan and the sea. And there's a few saltwater tilapia them grow. Funa Mangrove now have saltwater tilapia.
Breeze died down a little bit. Build up. Clear apart to go inside.
No, this is one of the great infrastructure issue or service issue in our country, where we don't have adequate fire brigade, we don't have no ambulance, and we police them barely have vehicle. So we can almost say in our country we have a hugely inadequate emergency service. Andrew Mac, how you do? Melo MP, good evening. We have a hugely inadequate emergency service in our country. This is another thing that Jamaica need to pay attention to. No, when it comes to the Chinese and the Americans and the development of our country, I'm all for the Chinese. My issue is how our government, because of money and sweets and likes, they make the Chinese them come our country and do anything they want because it benefit our politicians financially. Then give where we land, them dump up with land for them carry out business plan and all them something. These are the things that I disagree with. Our government do not do things in our interest. Infrastructure wise, it is more beneficial to have the Chinese as a partner than the Americans or the West, which have left us underdeveloped for all these centuries we've been partnering with them. But we cannot sell out our pride, our lands, or environment for the sake of development. And this is where our government is letting us down, because I don't think the Chinese are that difficult to deal with. The issue is our leaders are too corrupt. They are too licky and love sell themselves cheap. Love sell themselves cheap like Jamaica voters. Love sell themselves cheap like Jamaica voters. But when it comes to infrastructure development in our country, I would choose the Chinese over the Americans any day. The issue is the crooked leader them what we have, where everything for them pocket come first. For them pocket come first and not the Jamaica people. That is the problem in the partnership what we have with the Chinese them. Because unlike the American them where we tell Andrew to bend down and suck wood, forget what you want. Literally beg your pardon, but I saw it go. The Chinese are more strategic player in the game rather than the Americans who are bullies who will literally point a gun at you or allow you to commit crime, then use that over you, just like what you see them do with Andrew and Chang right here now with the TCNs. I'm all for the Chinese, but to get the benefit we should get and can get, we have to have revolutionary leaders like Abraham Chore and all that, which Andrew Holness told us he's not. I'm a front seller, said the Prime Minister. And this is, you see, all these emergency services we're lacking in partnership with the Chinese. We could solve that problem. Look at Burkina Faso since Abraham Traore do him thing. Hospital a bill, agriculture and everything just a bill. So what we are doing with everybody we go in a partnership with, we're prostituting ourselves. Our leaders are prostituting us. That's why we not get a fair deal or get the proper benefits we ought to be getting out of these partnerships. We get 10,000 rapists, murderers, and pedophiles as per Marco Rubio.
Why people me there long enough, you know, I eat that, you know, I got any life, you know, any life, you know, me there long enough, you know. Yeah, man, me there long enough, you know, me and tired, you know. So all of my gifters, them, respect and manners, thank you for the like and share and follow them. That must go on YouTube, must go on YouTube. Person who say no, send me a gift and me stay out a little bit longer.
All right, so that was a lot of fire in Falmouth today on Duke Street. Quite a few buildings were engulfed. We're now going to go back to the protest. This is the observer's take on the protests.
Jamaica is in a crisis. We're in a crisis of governance. We're in a crisis of trust. We do not trust the government's word. We do not trust the government to tell us anything straight, to tell us the truth. Why do I say that? The Deportee deal. They signed an MOU in secret, and we wouldn't know anything about it if it were not for the cleaner who essentially burst the story. And then we've heard from them many different stories that simply don't make any sense.
I heard me a step a while ago, said the Prime Minister say have faith in Mr. Wheatley, and that was not true. He did not say that. He said I'm confident in the work that he's doing as a minister.
In the work. Thank
you. That's neither here or there, Mr. Observer. That correction to Miss Osborne is neither here nor there. The question that was asked to the Prime Minister by Cliff Hughes is, does he have confidence in Andrew Wheatley? The question was in context to the charge leveled at Andrew Wheatley by the Integrity Commission. The Prime Minister chooses to answer in a way that he have confidence in the work of Wheatley. What work is it that Wheatley has done in the cabinet in the last 6 to 8 months? We are not aware. So the Prime Minister answering the question that way, it's neither here nor there. It's still having confidence in Wheatley, whichever way he chose to answer it. But we are taking it as the question was asked, whether he has confidence in Wheatley or not. What work is it? He was never asked if he has confidence in the work of Andrew Wheatley. So that correction is neither here nor there.
Thank you very much for the correction, but he's still in the cabinet, and actions speak louder than words. And therefore, the action that the Prime Minister has kept him in the cabinet is the important thing, because even the conservative PSOJ have said that that is not right.
When we're here to support the Advocates Network, the group of civil societies that have come out here to demonstrate, to voice their opposition to this agreement that the government has entered into with the U.S. to bring what I will call persons into the country. We don't know the terms of this agreement. We know nothing about it. The government has been hiding it, quite frankly, if it wasn't. And so we want that agreement to be tabled in Parliament, so that we know what the government has signed up to. We want to know why the government has agreed to accept these persons. Right? None of these questions have been answered. One minister said one thing, another minister said another thing. A third as we are demanding accountability. The cabinet minister has been recommended for the very serious charge of illicit enrichment. And we believe that person should step aside and attempt to clear his name, as is his right. But he should remain as a cabinet minister while those charges move over.
For immigration purposes, but they still be going running, racketeering, shooting, murders. You know, so why bring them to a country like ours? They are prime candidates for our gangs to recruit, to make it more difficult for our JCF people, our security forces right now. And I'm also surprised how our agitated teams from the JCF are not speaking out. The Police Federation, the Police Officers Association. When I was a police officer for over 41 years, I was the General Secretary for the Police Federation. James Ford was chairman. We'll be asking questions now. How will these people impact the crime situation in Jamaica? How will we monitor their movement in and around the country? This is real cause of concern, and I'm happy that civil society is speaking out in the way that they are doing today. So I have no problem in coming out to show my support for this movement.
Right. Let's see who is the next take we'll have on this. I think this is the star. If the protest was well attended, was well covered.
There is no way that we can have anything called good governance that is based on lies and deceit. Our call today is simple, very simple. Number one, we say release and publicize the MOU. Please hold the MOU to be tabled in Parliament so that the people can see what you have been doing supposedly on our behalf. We employ you from the Prime Minister. As we said, very simple and very clear. We are demanding also. We're not asking. We're not making no request that the government of Jamaica employs to us. Take the money that they have for relief, for providing relief for Jamaicans who have been victims of a hurricane. We are saying, spend the money on the people. All your money people are on the target. People are on the bench. People are on the tree. We are saying, spending the money responsibly on what it was intended for.
Andrew, after me listen to Denise daily, me hear Horace Chang, but me no know when they attack, because me never strain me ears. Me never have an interpreter, and me never strain me ears to know what he was saying. I think this last clip is from the Gleaner, but me they are hearing, but me no know when they are say. No, this is no, we did this. This is a clip that we start with. Oh, we never put in the Gleaner one in a studio, but I think we have done a fair bit of going through. Before we go though, let's look at Andrew Holness. What Andrew Holness, you remember what Andrew Holness said about nuclear energy? Let's listen to some people's take on that. One phone call did come in and disrupt a part of this recording.
Prime Minister, having made these announcements, what should this raise in our minds?
The United States, according to Marco Rubio.
Prime Minister, having made these announcements, what should this raise in our minds? What are your concerns as far as this direction that has been outlined goes?
I am concerned about nuclear, but I just want to say that I think we stand at a moment of opportunity here. We know that the JPS license has been our long-standing monopoly provider for all of my life under different ownership. Their license is coming up soon, I think in the next 2 years. So we have an opportunity to rethink what has led our electricity supply for all of my life, as I say. And I think it is important that opportunity is not squandered. The problem with nuclear, apart from the reactive waste, is the time it takes to build, the small number of SMRs, the small nuclear reactors that are deployed around the world, and the requirement for extremely good management and regulation and enforcement. And it is really my concern about our very obvious and evident enforcement and management and monitoring failures everywhere you look. So I basically think nuclear is not a technology for Jamaica at our current stage of development. We are blessed with both solar and wind energy. Those prices have come down dramatically. They are scaled up far more easily. They can be decentralized if that's desirable, because we now have a situation where hurricane hits one part of the island and many other parts of the island are without power for weeks or months. So there are many, many advantages to solar. It's a tested technology. The costs have come down dramatically. So I really am not sure why we don't stand in this moment here and really do what is necessary to make a renewable energy transition.
Yep. Teresa, I don't know if you agree with Diana or not, but say they do decide to do nuclear energy, what would be the concern? Some people hear that and say, no, so if we're afraid of that, what would be the concern? And I still want you to tell me if you agree with what Diana said or not.
Yes, definitely agree with what Diana said. The issue with nuclear is really how do you handle the waste? Also, you do have significant risk if something were to go wrong. We have many examples of those. And yes, that those were the traditional larger types of reactors. And what we're proposing here for Jamaica is more the small modular reactors, which have less risk of some kind of failure in that catastrophic way that we have seen. But there are risks nonetheless, and there are risks that I don't think that Jamaica is prepared to handle. We have to really do a lot to improve our entire system of enforcement, of management, of how do, as Diana said, how do you handle the waste? And it doesn't produce as much waste, but it still produces waste. And these things are generational impacts that we're talking about, right? So I think that if we're talking...
To answer your question, Andrew, no, Jamaica cannot handle nuclear nuclear energy rather. We are not equipped to deal with the nuclear waste, which is dangerous. We're not equipped as a country, given the fact that we live on the hurricane belt, and the same government that is pushing nuclear is telling us that climate change is getting more serious and we could be having more category 5 hurricane. God gave us something cleaner and cheaper, which is solar energy. God gave us something cleaner and cheaper, which is solar energy. If it is, why it is, I think, Andrew Holness is promoting nuclear over solar is they want to have a monopoly on energy. Whereas if we go to renewable solar, then somebody is going to lose a monthly money out of them pocket. You understand? And that, and the monthly money where the government a benefit out of our pocket. Why them not introduce solar? Nuclear is very risky where we live. The region where we live in, nuclear is very risky and it's very expensive. If we don't have uranium, we're gonna have to buy uranium from somewhere else or dig it from somewhere. It's just the monopoly that they want on resources. Why Andrew Holness have pushed nuclear rather than solar. We definitely isn't equipped to deal with that.
Talking about immediate energy costs, as Dana has indicated, solar or renewable energies is really the way to go. And we have examples of this. And this conversation we're having today has largely been triggered by.
To answer your question, Lachlan, when Andrew talk about Portmore, because at Portmore they were planning the nuclear rolled out for leaching was a part of that promotion and potential investment.
The announcements that we've been hearing, but also recent annual lecture that CB Facey Foundation had, where we heard about your guys' example of upscaling to almost over 95% of renewable energies. So if a country that is basically equivalent in size to Jamaica can do this, and there are other examples, then I think that this is something that we need to be pushing. We also have international commitments that we have made. And so when we talk about things like oil and gas, it really goes counter to those commitments as well as our vulnerability as a small island developing state.
And of course, we can't leave and don't play the Prime Minister again. Cock mouth, kill cock. This video should be called Cock Mouth, Kill Cock.
Those questions, what will the opposition do? The opposition can't unappoint the minister. The real question is, what is the government going to do about this?
Mr. Powell seems to essentially get away because he has managed to successfully forge alliances with his political superiors. Do you agree with that?
Well, they have analyzed it correctly. As I said before, the Prime Minister is complicit in this. She has taken no action that would suggest that the minister could not make such future mistakes. He's still a member of her cabinet.
What's the opposition going to do about this further?
What the opposition is very strident against this. Those questions, what will the opposition do? The opposition can't unappoint the minister. The real question is, what is the government going to do about this? It is a discretion. I am adding pressure right now as I speak to you. We have written to the Prime Minister to make known our concerns. It is the Prime Minister who must act. And my job is to stimulate public opinion as well, so that the public is not misguided by opinion leaders who seem to be very comfortable with the low standard of governance that is being offered by this government.
What if the Prime Minister does nothing else, doesn't ask for his resignation or anything?
It reflects the kind of Prime Minister that we have, and the country must decide if we're comfortable with that.
Had you been Prime Minister, what would
my actions would be clear? My actions would be clear and decisive, and I make no bones about that. I believe in a very high standard of governance. He would not be a minister today.
A very high standard of governance when it was Portia Simpson. Not quite so, though, when the shoes is on the crooked foot.
His apology to the Contractor General, saying that if he had said anything that could be construed as a lack of respect for the Contractor General's office, he withdraws those statements and apologizes. What do you make of that?
You know, there are some lines that ministerially you don't cross. And apologies are not good enough to fix them when you have crossed them. He did that with the Contractor General. It shows a mind.
If you remember Andrew Holness, a couple Wednesdays ago, Andrew Wheatley stood in our parliament and said the Integrity Commission is defaming him, even though he was forced to withdraw it. He's been defamed by the Integrity Commission, says Wheatley.
That does not respect the limits of his authority. And that's dangerous in a minister. And for a prime minister to accept that is to place the public's interest in peril as well.
Oh dear. Oh dear. When one wants power, one could say any God-given thing. But I don't know about you. I am not tired of listening to Emily Shields and the matter of TCN, Dr. Cham, and this most crooked regime. This is our last video for the night. Let's remind the government that only the two-piece chicken, the $5,000 and one green t-shirt labor rights that is on board with the government in this. Nobody else is. Because, Prime Minister, this is the straw that broke the camel back. The protest we saw in Kingston today, we have not seen anything like that in our country since the gas riot, possibly. That mobilization of the people. This was the straw that broke the camel back, that gets civil society, the church, and the political people to come out. But what I would hope is that as a country, we keep this momentum up. Make this demonstration weekly until we get results, until Wheatley resign, until the MOU, the ratification of the MOU is being rescinded or withdrawn by the government, until we see meaningful help for the victims of Hurricane Melissa. We should keep this momentum up.
Could go ahead and sign an MOU over 1 week or so before any information came to us, and have the effrontery to have us try to understand exactly what they signed is beyond me. Up to now, I don't understand it. Dr. Chan, you don't seem to understand it either, because nothing you say to me is clear on exactly what is to happen. And we shouldn't have to feel in the dark. On top of that, don't come and tell us that there's no coercion, because we know that there's no diplomacy in the corridors, in the halls of power anymore. We are fully aware. We are fully aware that what we're dealing with are not negotiations, but dictates. And we know that we don't have the power differentials are unequal. So what you probably need to do is speak with us in coded language, and we will better understand instead of taking us for idiots, because we're not. And it doesn't help that other Caribbean territories have these so-called TCNs. You need to read the room. You need to learn from history. You need to know when to speak with us and get ahead of the news. So what is happening now, to my mind, is not acceptable in how the matter has been handled. And even though we don't understand, you're telling us that these individuals are not deportees, but are they free people in the United States? Yes. Are they buying a ticket to come here? or are they to be transported in the custody of representatives to get here? And if they are not, we are not into the euphemism. You need to talk straight. And if you cannot talk straight, get somebody who can talk straight and level with us. This administration, you need to watch yourself. There's a time when the thing goes to water bottom and it's going to drop out. There cannot be so many mistakes in 1 week. Or 1 week behind the next. When David Cameron came here and promised a prison, it was rejected forcefully in the Parliament of Jamaica by the then opposition leader Andrew Holness, and I agreed with it. Chiefly because of the historical relic, because of our relationship with the UK, and the issues concerning slavery, which is a bit different from the United States. But exactly because of that, and exactly because of the secret MOU, you come to us early and explain and distinguish. You don't hold a speech until some biennial conference.
Not at all, out of order.
Don't make, my granny would have said, don't make people spit on the ground and it dry up before Dr. Wheatley resigned later. And give us full explanation about the so-called MOU. Because up to now, I don't get it.
Neither me.
And I read things in light. I don't read in the dark.
Before we go tonight, I want to say thanks to Violet Watson, to Michael Nepper, Opal Watson, Sharon Williams for your generous donation that helped us to reach our target very early on. Thank you so much, very much appreciated. Please do join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Today was, we could call it a historical demonstration in our country in a long time. What we would want is for us to make it weekly until this government hear our voices. Thank you very much and good night from Global TV.
10 years, you say. 10 long years and look how Jamaica stay. No light, no road, no food, pan we plate. People are suffer while Andrew live great. Hey, hey. You stand up on the platform, smile wide and proud. I tell we about prosperity, but we can't see it all now. Hurricane come through and left the people bare. 6 months later, them still out there, asleep under the air. Their GLP friends them build high rise, road still full of hope. House pocket to a fill, while the nation lose its soul. Hospital overflow, picnic can't get bed. School roof a leak, but you and Juliet well fed. You always have excuse, always pass the blame. Every time something wrong, it never go in your name. Jamaica a drown and you claim you're unclean. Biggest actor in our politics we ever see it. Boldness, time to go, time to go. The people, we say no. 10 years we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door. Boldness, time to go, time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done really show. Boldness, time to go. Farmer can't afford to plant, food price reach the sky. You bring in the Deportee while your own people cry. We born you, we grow you, we bleed for this land. But Andrew at the top won't extend the man. You talk about vision, you talk about plan. But 10 years later, we still can't understand. Corruption report land and nobody charge. The people pocket small, but the scandal them large. What's crack up a rich council, bro? Country suffocate done and it just smoke. And when we raise revise the call, we political. But the truth is the truth and the truth is biblical.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. The people,
Let's say no.
we say no. 10 years and we can't take no more, you know, hear us. We are not on the door.
Police, time to go.
Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, the people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. All less our time to go. We know our no hype, we know our no speed. We want action, no, not the lies you preach. Hurricane victims still under tarpaulin. Prime Minister fly gone foreign. Your JLB cabinet full, but the people copy empty. Oh, you live so large when we live in so scanty. Not with fists, not with fire, but with voice. Them rising higher and higher. From every parish, every yard, every gate. Jamaica speaking, and I know too late. Time to go, the people. We say no. 10 years and we can't take no more. You know, hear us. We are not body door. Time to go. From Kingston to Negril, people say so. We tired, we hungry, we done with the show. Oh, yes, our time to go. This one is for every Jamaican. We can't afford feet. We are sleep on cardboard. We are drive on broken road.
Thank you very much for watching. Please join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program, where we will
Jamaicans
continue or stand against the most wicked regime we've ever experienced. Good night.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.